the Divorced Girl Smiling Podcast with your host, Jackie Pilosoff.
No one should have to go through a divorce feeling alone and isolated. That's why I created the Divorced Girl Smiling podcast. It's a production of Divorced Girl Smiling. Every show is 30 minutes, and the guests are my Divorced Girl Smiling trusted professionals. Divorce lawyers, mediators, therapists, divorce coaches, and more. We're all going to help you get through your divorce with grace, with as little fear as possible, and feeling inspired about a post-divorce life. So grab a cup of coffee or a glass of wine and join us for 30 minutes. The Divorce Girl Smiling podcast starts right now. Before we get started, I want to tell you how I feel about the finance aspect of a divorce. It can feel stressful and daunting and confusing. How much money do I need to live comfortably? Am I going to be able to stay in my home? How am I going to prepare my taxes without my spouse? What should I ask for in the divorce? These are all questions that most people really don't even know how to begin answering them, and they have so little confidence in themselves when it comes to anything financially related. Well, guess what? There's somebody you can hire who will actually hold your hand during your entire divorce to help you make these important financial decisions. His name is Hirsch Sermon, and he is a financial divorce coach. I've known Hirsch for several years. He has an MBA, a CPA, and he's also a CDFA. If you want to learn more, I would highly recommend getting in touch with him. You can find Hirsch at lifecycle.financial. I also want to tell you about a wonderful divorce attorney, mediator, and arbitrator in Florida. His name is Anthony Diaz, and Anthony has spent several years working as a divorce attorney, helping people get divorced in a peaceful way. In fact, Anthony calls himself a peacemaker. If you want to learn more, you can find Anthony at anthonydiazlaw.com. And you can find both Anthony and Hirsch in the Trusted Professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling. When people get divorced, they often feel like they don't really know who they are anymore. They don't know how to have fun. They forgot what they love to do. They're so used to being so unhappy and worrying about stuff that they really forget that joy is a humongous part of life. And they just feel kind of lost. And so I'm really, really excited about this podcast discussion today, because I think if you're listening to this, it's going to give you so much hope and so much inspiration. And wait till you meet my guest. So before I introduce my guest, I want to tell you that I've known her for maybe a year and a half. And I remember when I first talked to her, every time we would talk, get off the phone or get off of a Zoom meeting, I literally felt like I could fly. And so my brain wanted to surround myself with people like her. And I ended up going to Greece with her. So I traveled thousands of miles because of that positive energy. And it was an amazing trip. So my guest is Hannah McKitrick. Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Jackie.
So we're both laughing because isn't that funny? Like every time we would talk, I would just feel so great. And I think that's why I made the decision to go to Greece. I was like, my soul was craving you, and the people who were on the trip. This group of women were amazing women who I, to this day, consider dear friends. And they're just such high quality, good people who are inspiring and positive. And so anyway, we're going to get into all that, but I want to tell my listeners, Hannah, what you do. Hannah is the founder of My Intuitive Health, which is her company that offers group coaching, a cook club, and retreats in Greece and Italy. So, Hannah, tell me how you got to, how did you get this way? I mean, How did you become so positive and inspiring?
Well, thank you, Jackie, for that. I you know, I really lived the opposite of that. So I have a deep embodied experience of what it's like to try to control everything and be in your head and be tapped out of your body and just pretty miserable. I went through severe anxiety and depression when I was younger and kind of had to unlearn absolutely all of these patterns that I picked up as a teenager. And what I've found in my journey and with all the clients that I work with is that the more you give that grace and compassion and lightness to yourself and put yourself in environments that help bring that out and permission yourself to kind of like you did, Jackie, just follow what feels good. Like you liked hanging out with me, so you went to Greece with me. Like, why not, right? And the more that we can do that and the more that we permission that, the more that you create alignment within yourself. And alignment is everything. The program I'm teaching right now is called soul alignment because it's just when you're in alignment, and alignment means like you're acting in accordance with what feels most true for you, your highest self, your guidance, whatever you want to call that. That's when life shows up to meet you and brings you that flow, those synchronicities, the serendipities, and works with you instead of you working against life. And that starts with like having fun, which is so counterintuitive. And the more you do it, the more you see that impact of it and the ROI of joy, which is kind of fun.
Okay, we've known each other like a year and a half, and I never heard that story. I would never in a million years think that you had anxiety and depression. Never.
Mhm.
So you really did the work,
Yeah.
and now you're really sharing that work with others, is what basically is happening.
Absolutely. I mean, I used to be I couldn't spend a night away from home. I would get so homesick and, now I'm, no one ever knows what country I'm in.
I just love it. What I want to tell my listeners that we're going to talk about today that I think they're going to love is seven things that every divorced woman needs to do. And I want my listeners to know that Hannah and I talked about this, what the seven things were going to be before we got on the podcast. And we specifically have in mind that we want you to be happy during and after your divorce. And yes, even during your divorce, you can have joy in your life. You could experience loss and fear about the divorce and still live a lot of the day in a state of joy. I
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah, absolutely. And these 7 steps, these can be applicable for anyone, like, especially if they're in a transition, especially if they're in divorce, but also just like if you're wanting to bring more aliveness to your life, or like if you feel like something's missing and you don't really know what, like these steps will help you bring you back to you. And that's what'll create that aliveness.
And also, there's a lot of divorce professionals that listen to this podcast, and this is for them too,
Yeah.
because divorce and working in this industry is very hard and stressful in and of itself. Even if you're happily married and you're a divorce lawyer, it's not easy. And so we're appealing to divorce professionals as well, or any professionals.
Yeah, absolutely. I work with a ton of business owners. Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the seven things every divorced woman needs to do. The first one, and by the way, Hannah came up with all of these, but the first one is stop trying so hard.
Yes. Do you want me to launch into it now?
Yes,
Okay. Okay, good. I don't wanna overwhelm people with all 7 steps at once, so this is perfect.
right.
So, the first step is stop trying so hard, and I know people listening know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been in a situation and you are, like, forcing it, like, you're doing absolutely everything you can, you're trying to control it, you're trying to make everyone happy, you're trying to make something work, like, get this business deal, and you find yourself trying so hard, that's your signal. That's your signal that something is just a little bit out of alignment because you're not meant to be forcing something so hard and trying to control something so hard. And so and we're gonna get into the steps of what to do once you realize that, but this is kind of just the first cue of like, oh, I feel like I might be forcing this or trying too hard. Like that's your signal to just stop and pause. And what you can do from here in this situation, and this brings us into step number 2. Can I say step number 2?
Yes.
It's release what's not working. So, when you notice that you're trying so hard, there's 2 things you can do. Number 1 is shed. Shed what's not working. This could be, like, releasing it completely or outsourcing it. So, say it's a you're a business owner and it's a program and it's just not working and you just want to get rid of it. You just get rid of it. Or say it's like email marketing or something, or cleaning your house, like you hate it. You can outsource that, so that it makes this process a little easier. Like if you find that you're cleaning all day long every day and it's just exhausting, outsource that. Okay.
Okay, you bring up a really this triggered something in me. I think that I'm not alone in that we get into these habits and then all of a sudden we go, "Why am I still paying for this?" But it's been a habit for so long that you just do it even though it's not really working for you. You just keep doing it. And then when you finally say, "You know what? I'm going to make a change." It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, yeah, because it's bringing you into more truth within yourself and more ease, and you'll get like the universe will support that, like, of what's meant for you. And so, like, if you think you don't have the funds, like, they'll show up with stuff like that.
The best example I can give is like getting together with a toxic friend, and you've just gotten together with her for so long, and you never feel good when you've come home from like a coffee date with her or something. So,
Yes,
why are you doing it? Like, just,
absolutely.
that's like just one example of anything.
And another example is your husband, like, releasing what's not working. Like, if you're getting divorced, like, like, get rid of that.
And don't feel guilty about it either.
And don't feel guilty. Exactly, exactly. And then the other thing that you can do when you notice that you're trying so hard is to shift it. So this could be shifting either your mindset or the pathway there. So for mindset, this might be something like, say your sister or mom is really annoying you, but you can't really shed them necessarily, then you could shift your mindset around it. And or even like dropping your kids off at your ex's house, say. Um, it's like, you have to do it, but like, how can you shift your mindset to be like, okay, like I am gonna do this, but like I'm just gonna put up my energetic barrier and like not even like attach emotions to any of it and just like get in, get out, and whatever. The other thing you can do is actually shift the pathway there. So say again, the dropping your kids off at your ex, maybe you have your mom do that, or maybe he comes and gets them so that you're not the one that has to do that every single week and go back to that house or whatever might be. Or in business, it might be shifting how you do your marketing. Say you're always doing email marketing and you hate it, then it's like go do speaking and, like, sell from stage instead of, like, trying to sell on emails all the time, something like that.
Right, and business and life, it's all trial and error. I mean, Hannah, you and I both have our own businesses. You try something, you're like, "Oh, could have thrown the money in the toilet and it would have achieved the same result." And then you do things and they work. So, it's all trial and error, and all we can do is do the best we can, but the worst mistake is not to do anything, to
Yeah.
not make those changes.
Yeah, and I actually read this quote once, from, like, really top successful leaders, and they were all like, "The most success I've had, none of it has come through forcing it. It's all been these synchronicity, serendipitous opportunities that come when you're in your alignment, and that's when life meets you there."
You're listening to the Divorced Girl Smiling podcast. My name is Jackie Pilosoff, and I'm your host. And today we are talking about 7 things that every divorced woman needs to do. My guest is Hannah McKitrick, who is the founder of My Intuitive Health, a company that offers group coaching, retreats, and a cook club. And we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we have 5 more things that we think every divorced woman should do. We will be right back. Getting divorced can feel so overwhelming that the last thing you're thinking about is your will and estate plan. But Raquel Lazar-Paley said that she cannot stress enough how important it is to start working on a new will and estate plan as soon as possible, and that means during your divorce. Raquel and her partner, Elizabeth Pren, are wills and estate planning attorneys in California. I would highly recommend consulting with them. They have been doing this for a long time and are very smart and very trustworthy. If you want to learn more, you can find Raquel at paleypren.com, and you can also find her in the Trusted Professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling. I also want to recommend a wonderful financial advisor. Her name is Joanne Littman, and Joanne has been a financial advisor for several years and specializes in helping advocate for people going through a divorce. Jo is wonderful, very knowledgeable, very experienced, and so dedicated. Jo is also a divorced mom, so she completely understands how you feel and how overwhelmed you might feel when it comes to your finances. If you want to talk to Joanne, you can find her in the Trusted Professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling or at newyorklife.com/agent/J Littman. Welcome back to the Divorced Girl Smiling podcast. My name is Jackie Pilosoff, and I'm your host. Today, I'm here with Hannah McKitrick. Great person, the founder of My Intuitive Health. Hannah offers group coaching, cook clubs, and retreats. And if you want to learn more, you can go to myintuitivehealth.com, and you can also find Hannah in the Trusted Professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling. Hannah and I are talking 7 things every divorced woman needs to do, in our opinion, if you want to be happy, like us. And we're going to move on to the third one, which is figure out what lights you up.
Yes.
Why is that so hard for people to do?
Oh my God, it's so hard for people to do because people, when they have a desire, what comes right after having a desire is the feeling of lack for not having what they want right now and the fear that they won't be able to have it. And so many people won't allow themselves to, follow like what lights them up or to do what they're passionate about because they think they should do it this way or they should do it this way. But really, and I'm going to combine step 3 and 4. 4 is follow what feels good. And so it's really they work in tandem is like identifying what makes your heart expand, what makes your shoulders drop, who in your life just makes you feel good and then permissioning yourself to go do that because what feels good is the universe signaling to you that that is meant for you. Like instinctually, like what feels good is meant for you. And so if you're drawn to a certain program or a certain country or a certain person, like that's your signal that like this is going to create the best results in your life and like go do that. And it'll create that flow and that support that so many of us crave from life and it'll make you happy too. Like doing what feels good, like it not only makes you happy, it puts you into more alignment and creates this more magnetic energy around you to attract even more of that law of attraction, like attracts like.
Okay, now I'm going to give specific examples of people I know and how they turned what they love to do into getting more of it, like you said. So I know women who are getting divorced and they haven't worked in like 20 years and now they need to go back to work or they want to go back to work because they're empty nesters, and they're trying to figure out what they want to do now. And they'll say, like, oh, I just love museums. I go to museums all the time. Well, why don't you get a job there or do something in the arts field? And then they'll go, oh, because those jobs are really hard to get. My advice to people like that is take anything. Who cares if you can? There's some people who have to make a certain amount of money, but you could even do it on the side. Get like a job, even if it's like a really low paying job or it's part time or you're just dipping your toe into the water. If you know that's going to make you happy, then it doesn't matter where you enter the field because eventually it's going to light you up and then you're going to feel good when you do it. And then more of it will come, right? I mean, isn't that like a good example?
Yeah, that's a really good example. And like I'll share a personal example, like for my business, like I love cooking, I love travel, I love Italy, I love coaching and like self-growth and development. And I put it all in a pot and like birthed a business. And I for years I tried to shove that desire away because I was like, oh, that's too good, you know? But it's not. Like other people don't have those same desires, and your desires are unique to you and they're meant for you.
I remember that you telling me that. Like you basically took everything you loved and combined it and made a business.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love that. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is embrace community.
Yes, this one is so important because as human beings, we're designed for community, and um healing and is when it's done in a group, it is so much more powerful because if left to your own devices, like, we'll judge ourselves, we shame ourselves, we guilt ourselves, and, like, just make ourselves completely wrong. And what happens when you put yourself in a supportive, high vibe community is they do the opposite. They lift you up, they permission you to be exactly you. You show up as your full self, they see that, and they still love you, and that just, like, completely allows you to remove the barriers, remove the masks that we spend so long putting on and looking a certain way, and the community just helps to really accept you for who you are and lift you up and just, like, give that camaraderie, which we all need, like, literally as human beings, we all need, especially when you're in a transition, um, becoming single.
I want to tell the listeners. So I went to Greece with Hannah last summer, and there were 8 women on the trip, 9 with Hannah, and I
Oh, there
didn't
was
know,
yeah.
and I didn't know any of the women. And a lot of them knew each other. So I was a little intimidated. I was like, oh, are they going to be clicky? Whatever. I felt an instant sense of community. These women were just so high quality, amazing women. And the second or night we were there, we went on this, we took a bus to the
Oh,
top of this mountain to have dinner. And there were a lot of like curvy roads. And I was so sick coming home because I sat in the back of the bus and I was so nauseous. And all the women, when we got back to the place, the hotel, like were surrounding me on the couch, bringing me tea. And here, I went to my room and got you this like anti nausea thing. And like they treated me like I was their best friend. And I felt so taken care of and so loved and so lifted up. It was like enough self esteem dose to last me for like 2 years. I mean, really. And that's what community is. But the key is finding the right community, right?
yeah, yeah, and to do that, it's, going back to, 4. It's like, follow what feels good. You'll know, trust your body, feel your body, like, who you're around, what communities you're around, what ones make you feel good, and go spend more time with them.
Okay, next one is try something new.
Yeah, so this what I wanted to say for this one is giving yourself a new experience, and what I mean by that is, um putting yourself in experiences that will allow you to show up in a new energy, in a new way than you have been. So like what we've been talking about is like, release what's not working and like follow what lights you up and find out your passion. Like that can be sometimes hard to kind of figure out with your head. But with your body, it's a lot easier to ingrain these habits. So like for instance, on a retreat, like you said, like it's bringing your body through these experiences that allow you to actually be doing something that is lighting up, like going to Greece or, cooking in a foreign country. And your body remembers this experience of like, oh yeah, like I get to receive this abundance. I get to have fun. Like it gets to not be so hard. And you get to experience that firsthand and remember that with your being.
Okay, I love this. And by the way, try something new. I want to tell my listeners that me going to Greece, of course, I wanted to follow the Hannah's positivity and inspiration, but I also went because I was really having a fear of traveling. I was too much in my comfort zone and I really wanted to break out of it. And it took a lot of guts for me, both financially and logistically, physically, to get myself to go to Greece. And I'll tell you, it was so empowering. And I had so much self love that I actually did it instead of just talking about it and staying stuck. And really, when you try new things, you become very proud of yourself and you have a lot of like self confidence that you did it. It's just an amazing feeling.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
last one. This is the one of the best. Start cooking.
Yes, I love that. It's one of my favorite topics. I love food. I love cooking. I went to culinary school when I was 23, and our minds as intelligent human beings, we crave stimulation, healthy stimulation that in so many of us nowadays are just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling to get that dopamine hit. And so what cooking does is it gives your brain this healthy stimulation for you to engage in from start to finish that is actually lifting up your happy hormones instead of uh, you know, depressing them as you're scrolling on your phone. And in cooking, it's really a mind, body, soul experience. And so for your mind, it grounds you into the present moment. It gives you something to focus on, task at hand, gets you out of your head and into your body. And then on a physical level, you're using whole ingredients, you're making this nourishing meal. It's super healthy, and you're putting that into your body, which helps to ground your body on a physical level and radiate more vibrancy and feel lighter. And then on a soul level, like it's like you're engaging with these flavors, you're smelling them, the taste, like it's designed to bring you joy. And especially when you're doing it in community, it's really a full experience.
I can't even, we have done a whole podcast episodes about the benefits of
Mhm.
cooking and all the physical, emotional benefits that
Yeah.
go with it. But I wanna tell people, we haven't even shared this. Part of Hannah's retreats are that she has weekly cooking classes on Zoom 3 months before the trip, right? Like 2 or 3 months before, and you're meeting every week. So you're getting to know the people you're going with over Zoom, and you're also doing these amazing cooking classes. And I remember that, I told my family what I was doing, and they were like, why are you going on a cooking retreat? You hate to cook. We're so shocked. And I said, because I want to change. And
Mhm.
now when I make meals and text my family, they always text back and go, who is this? Who are you? What happened to our sister?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's
you
a
know,
really positive feedback loop, within yourself when you cook.
absolutely. So, Hannah, this has been an amazing discussion. Thank you so much for being on the show. And thanks for everything that you've done for me and everything you're doing for women everywhere.
Likewise, Jackie, thank you.
If you want to learn more, you can find Hannah at myintuitivehealth.com. You can also find her in the Trusted Professional section of Divorced Girls Smiling at divorcedgirlsmiling.com. And you can go there to find other trusted, vetted divorce professionals, read articles, and listen to podcasts on every topic relating to divorce and dating. Before, during, and after divorce, so many different topics: financials, emotional health, dating, kids, everything. So thank you so much for listening, everyone, and we'll talk to you real soon.